Hello, beautiful ones. This is Lorelei with the Tightrope to 5D Music Reactions. And if you don't know what the fifth dimensional consciousness is, then stick around. I'm going to give you a special message at the end and take it from someone who's been forged in the fires of third dimensional difficult experiences and come out the other side. You don't want to miss that video. Okay, rather that message, I should say. Today we're looking at Amira Willighagen, Hallelujah, Hallelujah, which is one of my favorite songs. So here we go. How beautiful she is in her beautiful dress. I think this might have been around her 18th birthday. I'm not sure. Okay, I thought this was the other Hallelujah from like the movie Shrek. Okay, cool. Let's see this. Wasn't that so beautiful? I gotta just hear that last part again. It was so pretty, the way she just built it there. What's up with all these people over there? Are they going to do something really spectacular? Let's see. Bring them all in. They're a choir. Let's hear that again. Oh, that was so beautiful. By the way, like this video and like hers afterwards if you're loving this. I appreciate that. Okay. I know all those people are singing. I can see their lips moving, but she is just like dominating the whole thing, isn't she? Listen to her voice. Holy moly. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. So beautiful, so inspiring. That is such a perfect example. You don't even have to have any words except Hallelujah. You don't even need probably those words. to make it beautiful and uplifting and inspiring. Did you feel that? Just comment for me and let me know if you felt that upliftment of that. So wonderful. And what a voice she has, doesn't she? We got to go back one more time. I want to hear that ending one more time. Just one more time. Oh, she never fails to just uplift me. I'm telling you, she is so fabulous. By the way, if you're enjoying what I'm doing here, please do go ahead and subscribe as well as liking, because I love to see your faces. I'm going to be doing more of her. One of the reasons I also am doing more of her is because this one has a heart of gold. So as I understand it, when she was still just a child, when she first started to win some of these awards and get money coming in, she began a charity for children called Glückskinder, which is, I believe, means happy children or something like that. And this was to have children in areas, underprivileged areas, be able to do wonderful things like play and sing and all of these things, as I understand it. So I'm going to put that link in the notes, and do go ahead and contribute to her if you'd like to do a good deed today. So yeah, this one, I mean, if you look at the scale of one being very third dimensional and very fear, pain, suffering, all that, and 5 being very fifth dimensional, love, joy, peace, bliss, etc. I gotta tell you, I just can't do anything but go for a solid 5 on this again. Just, I have no choice. Like, she's just up there in the stratosphere, just singing our hearts in, and singing her heart in, and singing our hearts in. We don't want to sing our hearts out because we don't want them leaving, right? We want our hearts right here. We sing them in, and she just does it so beautifully. So I'm going for a solid 5 on her. By the way, if you'd like to know a little bit more about me particularly, tell me too. Would you comment and let me know? Would you like to hear me sing a song on this channel once in a while? I'd be curious to know if you would. I do love to sing, and maybe I would go ahead and do that. And yeah, so if you want to hear about me, you can go to the, let's see, I have a small video on here about me. It's just a short, it's 3 minutes, but it leads you to a longer video where you can hear my entire story of my journey and that being forged in the fire business. All came out well in the end, and I got wonderful skills actually that maybe have service to you in some different ways. So if you go to also my Patreon, or I'm sorry, you would go to the YouTube channel description and hit the drop down for more, and go down to my Patreon About Lorelei page, and you can see the gamut there of the various things that I'm up to and maybe what might be of service to you. But now let us get to, that was so inspiring. Just want to breathe it in first. Very nice. Now let us get to our fifth dimensional message. 5D message. What exactly is the vicious circle of incarnation? And is it still happening? So, just for those of you who are first coming on board, as we're talking about this, we're talking about the third dimensional Earth, which we've been on so many multi-thousands and tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of years as the human race. And it's a very fear, pain, suffering kind of place to be in. I mean, there's a lot of goodness too. Let's be real about that. But there's also a lot of not so goodness in this reality, and moving toward that fifth dimensional consciousness and reality, which we are moving toward. Without any doubt, we are on that path, and that's the way we're going. So that is the heaven on earth, the peace, the bliss, the joy, the abundance for everyone, the harmony, the brotherhood, no one ever being harmed, everyone just a big love fest, right? So that's the 5D earth. So typically, however, on this earth, one of the ways that we got kind of stuck here, there were a lot of humans on this earth, and many years ago, they were of a higher conscience many thousands of years ago, but they began to fall down to a lower consciousness, and I talk about that in an entire video called, it's something to do with how have we fallen to the third dimension. Go ahead and look at my videos for that. I hope you'll look back at my videos for my different messages, because there's a lot of gems of wisdom in all of the different messages. So we had fallen down from a higher vibrational place, a fifth dimensional place, down to the third dimension. And then we had a call. There was a call put out to the universe. Now, some of this is going to sound wacky to you. I thought it was wacky when I first heard about it 15 years ago or so, but I've done the research since then to believe it's absolutely true. So there was a kind of a call put out from the planet. So along come all of the souls from around the universe to assist, okay? They want to assist the Earth in raising her consciousness. But the sticky thing is that if you come to the Earth to assist, it's considered interference if you come as who you are from the higher vibrations. That's interference with the free will. You must come down and become one of humanity and live life as humanity. So a lot of us came down here. Many of you who are watching may be in this group. I'm very possibly, if you're being attracted to this, we came here and we forgot all about that we had any higher beingness whatsoever. And so on this earth, we had a mix of the people, the humans who had been here and the ones who were coming to assist and so forth. But as this kind of darkness set in, and there was a darker element that was sort of trying to be in charge of the planet, in a kind of a great Star Wars thing, you know, where they were trying to take over this planet for the dark side, if you will, to say it that way. And so they began to sort of create what would be a wheel of incarnation. I mean, they helped it along. They had an idea that if people, when they died at the moment of their death, if they were in such trauma or such upset, if they had so many regrets and such a desire like to try to make up for things and whatever else, then this would cause them to instantly incarnate into another body. And in this way, they could not have what's normal for a soul is when you pass away, you come together with your guides and your higher self and everything. You decide what it is you want to do for your next life. You take time over that and you make a plan in the whole 9 yards. But if they could keep people in enough misery on the planet, then at that moment of death, it would be so powerful for them that they would bop right back into another existence. Now, this may sound froofy and weird to you, but I tell you, in practical reality, I have experienced and remembered some of my past lives and remembered that moment of death and remembered where that sent me the next time. And it's not very different from what happens to you in your human life when you have a strong desire or a strong feeling that will cause you to create something then. It will cause something different in your life. So trying to think of a good example of that. If, for instance, you are attacked, for instance, and you are beaten up and you decide that it's a scary world out there, okay? You will automatically go through life as it's a scary world, okay? Well, in a similar thing, if you come to the end of your life and you decide, for instance, let's see, I really did badly with my children. Okay, this is example from me. Okay, I'll give you this one, okay? In one of my lives that I remembered, I actually killed myself because I was in love with someone who was addicted to alcohol, and I was a Native American, and it was just a craziness. It was horrible what was going on, and I jumped off a cliff. Okay, so now, as I'm falling down, and I remembered this later, the last thought in my head is, oh my God, I left my children alone with this crazy nut. And it was like so devastating to me, that last thought of my life. And up I bop again into the role of a mother. And now I have in the background of my mind, and I don't remember anything that happened. Obviously, I don't remember anything of that happened. But I have in the back of my mind that that's the most important thing, is my children. Okay? So that's how it happens. Like you have a strong thought, a strong regret, a strong desire. Maybe you feel like your last life, the problem was that you're rich and now you need to be poor. Or the problem was that you're poor and now you need to be rich. And then you find out that rich people and powerful people don't do so well either. And so as you're going through these life after life after life, because we put up with so much trauma in these third dimensional lives at the level we've been at, you're just going through life after life after life after life, automatically incarnating into the other life without even a split second to think, without an ability to talk to your guides or your higher self or any of that plan, you just keep bopping into the next, into the next, into the next. Many of you may know the story of the Buddha who sat down under the Bodhi tree, and this was where he had his huge transformation, because he saw literally thousands of lives passing before his eyes. Okay? And he just, life after life after life after life after life. And all he could think to do in that moment was, oh my gosh, we must get rid of our attachments. We must get rid of our negative attachments, and we must get rid of our positive attachments. Like if you're clinging for something, like a drug or like sex or whatever, and you're clinging for that, or food or whatever, that's an attachment. Or if you're sad about something, if you regret something, if you wish you'd done it different, if you wish you could try another way, that's an attachment. And those attachments, he saw, and I later also saw and concurred, bop you right back into the next life with very little time in there. And so, by the way, I did that. I did a powerful 10-day silent retreat being taught that original method of the Buddha, the Dhamma. What we're understanding here is that the power of our attachments, the power of our wishing to have something a different way. We didn't have money, now we want money. And remember, in the last moment of our life, oh, my biggest regret is X, and I'll come back and try to solve X. And that's exactly what happens over and over and over and over and over again. And you keep coming back trying to solve one day, or let's put it this way, if it was a rich, poor thing, but it's many things, right? Because you have many, many lives. But let's say it was rich, poor. You decide this life you got to be rich. You come back rich, you decide you got to be poor. Come back poor, you decide you got to be rich. Come back rich, you decide you got to be poor. And on and on and on and on, like a vicious cycle. Now it's for other things as well. Come back as a person who abandoned their children or something. Now you got to come back and try being a mother again. Now you abandon them again. Now you got to try again to be a mother. Now you over smother them. Now you got to try to be a mother. So I mean, not that mothering is very normal and all that. I get that, but some people just mother, and it's important to them, but it's not like all super important. So I'm talking about to those like really super important mother type, right? Like me. Mother was super, be a good mother was incredibly like the most important thing to me. So this is that vicious cycle of incarnation and incarnation and incarnation, which has disallowed us to really take a breath, take a step back, and figure out how to continue our journeys in a way that was pretty workable. And let me also just also give you a little more understanding, because this concept of reincarnation is a little bit of a misnomer. It's not that I, Lorelei, am going to reincarnate in another body, forward, backward in time, whatever. It is that my oversoul, the great soul that oversees me, and my higher self, right, the two of those sort of aspects, which are very much blended, if you will, they send down a Lorelei to have life. The Lorelei come back, they send down John come back, they send down Tina come back. Now because I am at one with that oversoul and that higher self, I have access to all the understandings of Joe and Tina and many thousands of others. If I get to a high enough level, I can literally understand it consciously. But if I'm at a lower level, it will be a subconscious understanding, like my understanding, I have to be a good mother, I have to be a good mother, I have to be a good mother. That came from another life. But it was driving me, right? And probably driving me to, overdo it, if you will. So this circle, this vicious circle, coming from the higher self and the oversoul, sending down, and then and then sending more down, right? And then an automatic thing. Now it's been, instead of been, let's come up here and have a conversation about what we should do. It's more like, right? Because we have free will, and when we come with a driving desire, it's going to create something. And the next one comes with a driving desire, it's going to create something. And the next one comes with a driving desire, and it creates something. Without time, really, for that whole thought process of what should do and how you should do it. Now, the good news is that has been largely taken away. That vicious cycle or vicious circle of reincarnation has been largely taken away, because There has been intervention. We were allowed to have some intervention from the higher realms because we had reached out for help and we had reached a certain level of higher level thinking, so to speak, and we were allowed to have some modicum of intervention from the higher realms, and they have come and assisted us so that we are not automatically reincarnating. And as we go forward, we actually are not even going to be dying when we go to fifth dimension, so we won't have to worry about that, which is wonderful. But for those of you and your loved ones and whatever that may still decide not to go on to fifth dimension and may decide to exit in the traditional way, what's a great thing is to encourage anyone at the end of their life to really be content, really feel good about their life, so that this doesn't drive an incarnation. As I said, this is being handled and managed and addressed by the higher realms, but it sure doesn't hurt to give a little extra nudge on that. So that is the vicious circle of incarnation, and I'm happy to say again that it's over and it is not occurring anymore. Okay, beloved ones, I'm sending you that beautiful fifth dimensional energy, that love, that peace, that bliss, that joy, that pure abundance. Namaste. Oh, and freedom. Freedom to learn your lessons. Namaste. I honor the God in you.